Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Rolene Marks. You join me every Monday to Thursday with your Israel brief. And as always, we're brought to you by these guys, Layer of the Land. It is day 123 of Israel's war against Hamas. And I just want to address an issue for a moment because in the last 24 hours, I have had to deal with a lot of massacre denial, a lot of people saying that the massacres of October the 7th didn't happen. We all saw the footage. We all saw the footage of Shani Luk and Naama Levy. We all saw the footage of infiltrations and rocket attacks. And Hamas gleefully recorded all of their atrocities. And the reason for this is they wanted to inflict maximum psychological pain on the citizens of Israel. It's all on their Telegram site. It's all on multiple sites for deniers to look at. If you haven't looked at Saturday, October 7th, the site Saturday, October 7th, which is not available in Israel. It's far too traumatic, but is available for those outside of Israel. If you doubt that the 7th of October events happened, this is not the place for you. This is not the place for you. And any comments denying those atrocities will be not only removed, they will be reported as well. The evidence is out there. It is overwhelming. Everybody from President Biden to UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres has viewed the footage. Elon Musk has viewed the footage. Journalists from around the world have viewed the footage. I opted not to because I've seen enough. I have seen images that will haunt me for the rest of my life, and I've been to those killing fields. And as the UN Special Envoy on Sexual Violence said yesterday, she watched the footage. She hasn't been able to sleep for a week. And the world needs to understand the magnitude of what happened here. It might not be in numbers, but it was in sheer depravity. So that is just a little rant to open up with because I have seen so many accounts. In fact, last night I actually walked off a radio debate because I will not countenance two things in this world: Holocaust denial and the October massacre denial. And with that, let's take a look at those top stories. And we begin with an update about UNRWA, the United Nations Relief Works Agency. Over the last 2 weeks, we have been speaking about how country after country has been freezing their funding because of the damning allegations and evidence that shows that not only did UNRWA staff celebrate the 7th of October massacres for all the denialists out there, but at least 12 of their staff actively participated in the atrocities. We have also heard from former hostages that at least 2 of them were held captive by members of UNRWA staff. And we know that a social worker dragged the body of a dead Israeli soldier back into the Gaza Strip. So these are being investigated. Antonio Guterres, the Secretary General of the United Nations, called for a swift investigation. UNRWA today saying that the findings will be made public in March. Meanwhile, yesterday, UNRWA accused the IDF of striking one of the humanitarian aid trucks. The IDF have said they are investigating. And again, I want to appeal to people before we all jump to conclusions. I'm talking to you, BBC, and you, Sky News specifically, is to wait for the investigations by the IDF. If the IDF have made a mistake, they will admit it because Israel is a democracy and our army is transparent. And staying on the subject of UNRWA, members of Knesset from across the political spectrum have signed a petition calling for UNRWA to be defunded. And citizens in Jerusalem yesterday protested outside UNRWA offices calling for them to be shut. Israel's position, however, is very interesting. We want UNRWA after the war to be shut down and defunded. and all of those responsibilities, looking after refugees, education, etc., can go to different agencies. But right now, during this war, Israel wants UNRWA operative in the Gaza Strip because they do help ensure that humanitarian aid is disseminated. This is despite there being other agencies and other aid agents that can help with that as well. We've been speaking a lot about Itamar Ben-Gvir, the firebrand leader of the far-right Otzma Yehudit party, and the other day we spoke about his op-ed in the Wall Street Journal, and he has been at it again. Yesterday he addressed his constituents, his factions, saying that he does not bend and will not move. He addressed the issue of criticism he has faced for criticizing the Biden administration. In the op-ed with the Wall Street Journal, he accused the Americans, talking about sending in humanitarian aid, the pressure on humanitarian aid, as aiding Hamas. I don't know how you can aid Hamas by sending in humanitarian aid. We know that Hamas steals the humanitarian aid from the people that are waiting for it and deserving of it. Meanwhile, Itamar Ben-Gvir's son has reportedly called President Biden an Alzheimer's patient with cognitive decline. He has since apologized. He has apologized for that, but it is unacceptable. Hence, today there is an op-ed in the Jerusalem Post, an editorial, calling on the minister to please, in their words, shut up. He also calls on Prime Minister Netanyahu to do something about him. Many of you might know I'm a royalist. I'm a great fan of the form of government, of constitutional monarchy. There are several countries, very successful countries, that are constitutional monarchies, and the United Kingdom is one of them. So I'm extremely concerned and saddened to hear that His Majesty King Charles has been diagnosed with a form of cancer. This follows him having a surgical procedure for prostate cancer. For prostate enlargement. I just want to make that clear. The cancer is not related to his prostate. He went in for a procedure on an enlarged prostate, and I applaud him for bringing that issue, making it public so that men know to look for similar symptoms. But he has been diagnosed with a form of cancer. We don't know what form of cancer, and we also wish his daughter-in-law, the Princess of Wales, Princess Catherine, a speedy recovery. She is in recovery from abdominal surgery. But President Herzog, who enjoys a very good relationship with the King, has expressed his well wishes on behalf of the people of Israel, saying that he really appreciates recent conversations and the opportunity to meet with His Majesty the King, and wishes him well, wishes him a safe, full and speedy recovery, and also looks forward to him returning to public duties as soon as he can. And he also said he benefits greatly from the King's wisdom and insight. And I think that's a beautiful expression coming from President Herzog. And finally, staying with presidents, the Argentinian President Javier Milei is en route to Israel. He said when he was elected that this will be one of his first, if not the first, foreign visit, and he will be in Israel, he says, to express his solidarity against Hamas terrorism. We look forward to welcoming His Excellency, the President of Argentina. And that brings me to the end of today's edition of the Israel Brief. Guys, don't forget to check out our website. We have a lot of in-depth coverage of the 7th of October events from a variety of different perspectives. You can find it all on www.layoftheland.online. Our YouTube channel, where you may be viewing this at the moment, is at the Israel Brief. Like, share, subscribe. You guys do your thing. You know what to do better than what I know what to do. We're on X at Lay of the Land 5. Our Facebook community, which is growing, is at Lottel Site. And all that remains for me is to wish you a wonderful rest of your day. Look after yourselves and each other. And I will see you again tomorrow for the Hump Day edition of the Israel Brief. Bye for now.